Hey guys, Calamity here with another video of Should You Pull, and today's character is Zhongli. He's gonna have a rerun banner starting in the big 3.0 Sumeru patch, which at the time of recording comes out tomorrow. So you might be wondering, if you're new, should you pull on Zhongli? And the short answer is absolutely yes, you should. Now, why should you pull on Zhongli? I'm gonna spend the next couple minutes talking about it. Alright, so what makes Zhongli so great? I'm going to show you why. Ready? Okay, I didn't mean to block your vision there. That is it. Right there. And I'm not talking about the pillar, but it does help. I'm talking about the shield that you see around Zhongli that also gets shared with characters in your party. So, once he gives the shield, everyone else in your party has a shield, and it is the best shield in the game. Out of all the characters that are shield characters like Toma, Diona, Noelle, his is absolutely the best. It also has a really short cooldown. My head is blocking the cooldown here, so let me move over just a tiny bit, and we'll do that again. This extremely durable shield has a 12-second cooldown. Nothing is going to kill you in the overworld except maybe wolves, because the wolf enemies bypass shields, and they're the only enemies so far in the game that do that. There could be more in Sumeru, I'm not sure. But this shield alone is what makes Zhongli one of the best support characters in the game. Not only that, Zhongli is extremely easy to build. Okay, first of all, there is like some niche build you can do with him where he's like a physical DPS, and then you can go all out with his normal attacks. But that is memes. It's good, but it's not memes. Everyone uses Zhongli mainly for his shield, and that makes him way easier to build. So we're going to look at the shield itself. Now, you want to make sure you always do the hold version of the skill, not the press. If you don't do the hold version, you do not get a shield. The shield is based off of Zhongli's max HP. That's what makes it so easy to build. So when it comes to artifacts, all you need is HP percent on everything. Oh yeah, and some energy recharge is great, and then the other skill he has, which is his burst, is actually really strong. It has one of the highest skill multipliers in the game, and it does, obviously it's going to do a lot of damage, and it also is the only way you can petrify enemies. Petrify is very similar to freezing your enemies, but without the shatter. Zhongli's energy cost for this burst is really, really low. It's only 40 compared to most characters these days that have 80, and Yaimiko, who has 90 energy cost. This is very, very low. Getting some energy recharge on him isn't a bad idea either, as well as getting some HP. However, it is hard to consistently get his burst up if he doesn't have a Geo battery. But that's not a big issue. Alright, let's look at his talents real fast. His passive talents, I should say. And we'll go from there. So he has a talent called Resonant Waves, where every time the shield gets damage up to 5 times, it will increase. That's right, your shield will get even stronger by 5% up to 5 times. So that's 25% increased shield strength. So even the tiniest hit, a little hilichurl smacking you, a little arrow hitting you with the shield up, that won't do much damage. Your shield is going to gain 5% more. That just improves its durability. Next, we have Dominance of Earth, and this talent is also why investing hardcore into HP percent for Zhongli isn't like a total waste of damage. That doesn't mean, oh, I invested all my resources in HP, now he won't do any damage with his planet befall. False! He won't do as much as, say, if you highly invested in it with like some crit damage, crit rate stuff, sure. However, this allows you to get some damage from it. from investing in your HP. So this increases your burst by 33% of your max HP, and keep in mind this skill already, or this burst already has a 900% skill multiplier at level 10. The other part of this talent is that it'll increase your pillar's damage by 1.9% of your max HP. But to be fair, we are not using this pillar for damage. We are not using this pillar at all for damage. We are using it for the shield. But some things you should know about the pillar itself is that it does do AoE damage. And if any targets are nearby, it will drain energy from them, basically. It'll drain a large amount of... It says Geo Element from a maximum of 2 such targets. This effect does not cause damage. Yeah, it basically that's how he gets energy. But that's not... Again, shield. Shield. That is it. And we can further improve his shield by using the tenacity of the Millilith set. So the tenacity gives him a 20% increase in his HP, which is already fantastic right there. And now that we understand his talents, we understand that that is actually 20% increased damage for his burst and skill. Next, the 4-piece effect. It looks like a very long paragraph, but essentially when your elemental skill hits a nearby or hits an opponent, you will gain 20% increased shield strength. Oh, I'm sorry. 20% increased attack and 30% increased shield strength, as long as your elemental skill hits an opponent. And it's gonna keep doing this for 3 seconds. This can be refreshed. The duration can be refreshed even when he's not on the field. So this set was perfectly made for him because we'll do the shield again. You see how that pillar is pulsing? Every time it pulses, you see that square? That's hitting enemies. So it's, as long as there's an enemy right next to the pillar, boom, there's a tenacity of Millilith buff. Boom, it's refreshed. Boom, it's refreshed. You see? Boom, it's refreshed again. So you essentially have a semi-permanent 20% attack buff plus 30% shield strength. Now, let's take a look at my Zhongli again in terms of stats. My Zhongli only has 36k. Okay, this is on the very, very low end because the way I built my Zhongli was I kind of did like some sort of hybrid. Like, yes, I focused on HP percent, and at the same time, I did get a little bit of crit rate, crit damage just so he can hit hard with his meteor. You don't have to build him like this. There are characters that hardcore build into Zhongli's HP and only his HP with maybe some like energy recharge. And it's very, very, very doable to get upwards to 40, 50, maybe even 60k HP on your Zhongli, and that's not even like a crazy, you know, that's doable even as a free-to-play player. That is very, very doable. That will result in like a 15 to 20k shield with this is assuming all buffs and talents are being maxed out, like the tenacity buff and his fortification talent buff. You can get an insane shield on a 12-second cooldown. That is crazy. By the time your shield is even gone, you have another brand new fresh shield ready to go. Right, again, the only time your shield will break is if you're trying to tank something that does a ridiculous amount of damage, like world bosses with their moves that you're supposed to dodge. Weapons. Quickly go over his weapons. I have the deathmatch on him because, again, I tried to do some weird hybrid kind of thing with him. However, if you're doing support Zhongli, which I recommend for all free-to-play players, getting his best weapon is easy because it's actually a 3-star. It's called the Black Tassel, and I can't show it here because I actually don't have it for him. But the Black Tassel is a great weapon for him just because its subset is HP percent. Literally just more HP. That's all you need. There are some other options, I suppose, like the Favonius Lance. Something else that I would like to point out about Zhongli is that you only need him at C0. Like, yeah, sure, getting constellations for Zhongli would be nice, but if you're free to play or very low spending, you do not need any of his constellations. I have had Zhongli at Constellation 0 ever since I got him on his second rerun banner, and he's been performing well. The shield is amazing, and he does great burst damage. That's all I need. If you want to take a look, see through his constellations, they kind of just add more quality of life features. Like this one allows you, his C2 allows you to give a shield to everybody. And this is for co-op. So if you do your burst, everyone that's in the co-op party will get a free Jade shield after you burst. This doesn't matter for if you're playing by yourself, right? Because you just pop the shield and everyone in your own party gets the shield already. So here, obviously +3 to either his skill and burst is always nice. This one increases his burst AoE by 20% and increases petrification by 2 seconds for a total of 6. It's, again, quality of life, nice feature, not needed. C6, this makes Zhongli a healer, TLDR. You do not need this. It is nice, but you do not need this at all. Finally, I want to go over teams that Zhongli is great at, and guess what? The best shielder is good on just about any team you can think of. Who doesn't want a gigantic shield that can absorb plenty of damage, and shields prevent you from getting stunned as well? So characters, I mentioned this in another video, but characters like Yoimiya can benefit from his shield because it allows her to just constantly do her combo without getting interrupted. Same with characters like Ganyu. Again, you don't have to worry about when you're charging your shot. You just charge up your shot and you don't have to worry about getting stunned out of it. Arataki Ito, who's a character I don't have. Again, don't have to worry about getting stunned in your combo. Just swing away. Very, very versatile character. And another character he's good with that I don't have is Hu Tao. He's good with Hu Tao. Hu Tao's a character that you want to keep at a low HP to do maximum damage. And obviously, the shield kind of makes it feel safe. It doesn't feel like a risky playstyle anymore when you're playing as Hu Tao, since you have such a meaty shield. Now again, just remember the only enemy so far in the game that can counter him is the wolves. We don't know if Sumeru is going to have any shield penetration enemies yet. It could, or it could just have the wolves in that area as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah, sorry this is kind of a longish video, but it needs to be like reiterated, I'm sure, that Zhongli is a very, 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 very solid character in Genshin Impact. A very solid support. His shield is to not be underestimated. And I know a lot of people, especially new players, are probably just looking for who does the best damage, and I want to see big damage numbers. And while he can do that if you want, Zhongli's strength is the shield. Being able to not have to waste time dodging attacks, getting stunned from whatever combo or skill you're using is huge. It allows your main DPS and your sub DPS to do their thing without having to waste time dodging or getting stunned. That is a huge, huge benefit. It also has a really low cooldown, so this shield is basically up all the time. Now, it can't block everything, so keep that in mind. There still are some attacks in this game that you need to remember to properly dodge or play around. For example, when you're doing the Raiden weekly boss fight, there's a move where the big hand comes out of a portal and you need to destroy this orb with electro damage. You still need to do that, okay? You can't just shield and then power through. However, you still can shield and power through pretty much the rest of her attacks, if we're talking about that fight, as well as any other boss's attacks. It does make you a very lazy player, by the way. His shield makes you ignore most damage in the game, so you might actually forget how to dodge, or even not learn, if you've never fought certain enemies or bosses before, how to dodge properly, so you can definitely feel the effects of not having the shield once you've gotten used to it. That being said, if you have any questions about Zhongli, feel free to ask anything in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to try to answer them. That being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.